So like with that, like it just like reflecting on this last year has been like just incredibly like insane, like kind of hard to comprehend sometimes. It's
Yeah.
just like you're navigating who you are as an adult, you're navigating who you are as a person, like what you really like and enjoy, like not and then trying to also simultaneously like, oh, not fit into other people's standards or
Right.
fall into the corporate rat race of like, we just acknowledging who we are, like not fighting it. This is like a lot deeper than this episode was supposed to be.
It's gonna be lighthearted at the end, okay? I
It
promise.
is lighthearted.
Hello, everyone. Happy Wednesday. Welcome back to the Baddies Mean Business podcast. It has been a minute since we've talked to you guys. Actually, it's been like 2 months since we talked to you guys. So, with that
Call
being
us out.
said,
Call us out.
hey, it's self-awareness, okay? It's self-awareness. Just kidding. But we are back better than ever, as they say. And today, as you read in the title, we are going to be talking about our beige flags, which for those of you who don't know, beige flags are kind of like in the middle of a red flag and a green flag. They're not really bad. They're not really good. Sometimes they're a little bit boring. They might be a little bit,
Are they relevant? I
meh,
don't know. Like, I don't know if they're gonna be if they're considered relevant. Honestly, the flags thing can be a touchy subject in general,
true.
but I like the beige flags because it's just like it's really just like acknowledging like this, like the things people do, the little quirks.
Yeah. That you're
And
like, okay,
everybody's
I
like, "Oh
see
my
that,
gosh."
but I'm not gonna turn away from it. I'm not gonna, end
Yeah.
this relationship because this flag.
But before we get too far into it, for those of you who may not know us, welcome to Baddies Mean Business. We talk about the pursuit of people's passions and talk to really cool people, have really cool stories throughout their lives. But I'm your co-host, Riley Jennings, and this is my co-host.
Mackenzie Hatfield.
And today we'll dive into the beige flag, but first we'll just catch up a little bit. It's been a few months, as Kenzie mentioned. And so there's a lot of things that have happened. If you haven't had the chance to check out our episode before this, which was talking about our layoffs, which was a spicy topic, we're gonna basically be covering everything that's happened ever since. Which has been a lot in these last 60 plus days. So
Yes.
keep in mind your beige flags, keep in mind, look it up on Urban Dictionary, see what it is if you haven't seen it on TikTok.
Should we
It
pull it
may
up real
be it
quick and see
has
what it is?
yeah, we
Should we
should.
pull it up?
We'll look up the literal sense. For us, it was like always that in between ground between a red and a green flag. And this is in terms of dating, life, relationships, friendships, everything, which is kind of cool.
Okay, it literally says in one of TikTok's latest trends, attributes that are
And
neither good nor bad, but still give a reason for a pause. Like, ugh.
like exactly.
What? What you
I'm like,
say?
that's really tiptoeing around the red line
Okay, we're walking
district,
on
but
some
whatever.
eggshells.
um, those are gonna be hilarious.
That's
But
really
first,
funny.
let's
Really
give you
funny.
guys a little bit of the lowdown before we get into
Yeah.
it. So for me, I can start it off, Kenzie, unless you got some
Yeah.
spicy
No,
juice to share, girl.
go for it,
Okay.
girl.
So since then, the last time we talked more about the initial 48 hours after our layoffs, which I know after that episode was published, I got a lot of outreach from people, like people I really care about, which was really awesome to see. But overall, it's just been such a positive experience, believe it or
Mhm.
not. So I've kind of like I've met so many people who have been laid off before, ever since. I joined the board for San Diego Tech Hub ever since then. So with that, we're hosting an event this month specifically for people who have been laid off to help them connect with others and inspire themselves, which is really fulfilling. Talk just have the general conversations with those people. It's just like a very emotional experience, and for some reason, it's not some reason, pretty obvious reason. It's like bound us together, and we have this little tribe of folks who have just gone through the wackiest little situations. So that's been really nice. And ever since we've been running the media company, so Kenzie and I decided that we are both freelancers now. I focus more on video content. Kenzie focuses on like social media content with graphics, captioning, and copywriting. And we've really been throwing ourselves into that. And so for me, I run the Baddies Mean Business media company, and Kenzie has her own business called Highlight Reel. And so we still work together alongside, like very closely, obviously, like as
Yeah.
if we still work for the same entity, but we actually have our own. So that's been a whole ass journey. Excuse my French. Um,
Wow. How dare you?
I know.
How dare you say
That's
ass on the
great.
public or on the public on the pod.
I know. But I swear sometimes things happen for a reason, and this last few months have really proved that. Being able to be creative every single day and meet new people every single day and learn how to tell other people's stories in a way that makes sense. It's just been so fulfilling.
Yeah, so with that, in terms of like my business update, Riley kind of gave a good summary of what's been going on. I business is kind of as usual for me in terms of like my one client that I have still in Yakima, and I've been I've had a project. I've been doing their website for the past 2 months now, and so like getting that going, that's been kind of taking up a lot of my time is that, and then running their social media too. So I haven't been like reaching out to prospect clients yet, but I have completely updated my website, I've done my resume, so now I'm, like, at the point where I'm, like, going to start outreaching to people here in KC and then also just, like, wherever remote companies, kinda things like that, that just kind of align with my passion and align with the work that the industries that I like to work for, and so that's super exciting, and obviously, like, it just doesn't happen overnight, so it's just a matter of time, and so I'm super excited to, like, get into that, and like Riley said, like, it's just been a really fun period for us, just being able to freelance
Mhm.
and, like, co-work together. We're always co-working, like,
We're
if
always
we're
on the
not
phone.
working solo, we're on the phone together co-working, and it's so fun, and, I am really
Mhm.
grateful for this chapter in our lives to be able to just, like, soak up, all the independent stuff and working for ourselves and just having the extra, I wouldn't say quote unquote free time, but I'd say just like the flexibility to be able to still live our lives and like do the things we want to do and focus on things that matter to us while also working. And so that's been really good.
Mhm.
But outside of that, Ryan, what else have you been up to? Like outside of work? What's been new?
Yeah, oh my goodness. So my birthday was this last month, guys. Gemini season is here. It is here. I am 23 now, so me and Kenzie are 23 in our Jordan year, which is pretty
Mhm.
spicy and awesome. It has been, I feel like this entire year has just been like unpredictable. In general, it has felt we are like a year out from graduating. We are in it. So like with that, like it just like reflecting on this last year has been like just incredibly like insane, like kind of hard to comprehend sometimes. It's
Yeah.
just like you're navigating who you are as an adult, you're navigating who you are as a person, like what you really like and enjoy, like not and then trying to also simultaneously like, oh, not fit into other people's standards or
Right.
fall into the corporate rat race of like, we just acknowledging who we are, like not fighting it, not like really trying to like this. I think I'm speaking for like for my perspective on that is just like not. I just realized I'm just like always been a more creative person. I studied finance, but doesn't mean I meant to be in like strict finance, who knows? But just kind of going with that instinct rather than like fighting against it has been pretty crazy. This is like a lot deeper than this episode was supposed to be.
It's gonna be lighthearted at the end, okay? I
It
promise.
is lighthearted, y'all.
No, but on that note, I think it's really cool that like we both get to embark on this journey like together and also just be in a position to be able to like explore options with our job rather than feeling like
Hmm.
we and having the mentality to not like stay stuck and stagnant in like a 9 to 5. Not that that's bad because I also go back and forth with, do I want to work for a corporation or do I want to do my own thing, because
Hmm.
benefits to both 100%, and we can totally go in on that in a different podcast episode if that's something you guys want to hear. But I think just for us personally, we just are really enjoying this journey of like doing our own
Hmm.
thing.
Yeah,
And
and what I
yeah.
admire the heck out of I admire our generation because I feel like,
Mhm.
there's, like, people we talk to who are, like, what, 20, 30 years out in their career, and they get to that point where, like, "I don't wanna work for anyone anymore," like, and
Yeah.
then they start their own thing. I feel for us, it was, like, a very exponential experience, like, it was, like, 1 year in, 1 year out,
Mhm.
like, okay, I think it's very quickly realized, like, working for yourself is so possible these days, even regardless of, like we also are in a very privileged situation of being, like, younger, the liabilities are low, children,
Mhm.
families, that's, like, not in our visibility at the moment, but I admire our generation for being so, like, fearless in that way and being so public about like, how they run their business and how they do
Yeah.
business, and like, being so open on how they talk about things online because it made this process so much faster and quicker because it's like, you can just go and look up on TikTok, just
Yeah.
these videos, and you have, like, a whole community, like,
Mhm.
off of a single keyword, which is crazy, and that's the
Absolutely.
privilege I feel like people 20 years ago just did not have at
No.
all.
Yeah.
So
And I feel like it just wasn't talked about as much. Like, I feel like now people are in a position, at least maybe this is just my perspective because I'm now in the thick of it in like post grad and everything of that nature. But I think it's, to me, in the past, like people didn't talk about the way that they like went about their business or, especially with independent freelance kind of work or just like doing your own thing or influencing or like anything media creative related. I feel like was kind of
mhm,
like everything was so new at the time that not everybody, like, knew how to do it, and so it was, like, really rare to, like, look up on, say, TikTok. Well, we didn't have TikTok, but, like, look up on a different platform, maybe like YouTube, and be like, "How to do this?" And it just, like, those weren't really around as much, and so now I'm just grateful that, like, we have that tangible, not tangible, but, like, the resources that we have now to be able to do those things and, like, get help from other people, and everybody just wants everybody else to grow too, and I think that's cool. There's always room for you in this industry, like, no matter what, and I think that's really cool too.
mhm. 100%. It's like each that's like something I've been learning a lot. Like, being like a social media manager in a way was never it was never something I like planned on like for me in my journey. But it's just like I understand it too so much and how powerful it could be too. Um, it's just nice that you could be a small piece of this like large pond,
Yeah.
regardless, because every small business and bit like that don't want to take the time to do something like that. There's all these creative people who have
Mhm.
like literally built careers around it, which is
Literally.
incredible. Go team, squad
Go
up.
team. Mhm.
But
But
that's a
on
little
that
bit kind of
note,
what
yeah.
yes, that's a little bit what we've been doing, guys. Other updates, Kens. I mean, ever since birthday weekend was kind of wild.
Yeah.
Um, so it was my 23rd birthday. All my friends, we all got together and we had like a beach day. We went out one on that Friday night. Um, there's so many little stories I can't necessarily share on the mic, but just like out of pocket things what happened that weekend. I'm like, what the heck? Like so random. Like one of my friends ran into like the super like a couple of my friends like they split off from the group and because they wanted to go to just like a different club and they ran into this really famous rapper. Like everyone who knows him like in the streets and they just like got to chat with him and hang out with him. And I'm like, that's so crazy.
Mhm.
Um so I feel like life has just been like just like
All over the
being able to
place.
take note of these like crazy stories we can tell the kids, what or maybe not tell the kids one day. Um
Just relent when we're older
just
and not as crazy.
yeah. And like I know 23 is not old, but to me
That's a
it
little.
feels different.
It's the
It
oldest
feels
we've ever
different.
been, okay?
Oh, you're so right. It's the first time we've ever done it.
Yeah. So, give us some slack, okay? Just kidding.
Yeah. But those are the
Yeah.
major ones for me, Ken. So what about you?
So a couple of things. Uh, I like jotted some like quick notes down just 'cause I'm like, what have I done? Well, first off, if you're like watching us on YouTube, I have a little bit different of my scenery. I'm finally in my office. I used to be like out
Mhm.
in my dining room table because I had the most lighting in there, which I'm still working on the lighting in here because there's only a one window, it's behind me, and then my like glass door to my balcony. And so trying to play around with that, but big note is I got my desk and my chair? Yeah. My desk and my chair, which I'm so happy about. And this is so nice. It's so pretty. It's so sleek.
It is really nice.
Um, but yeah, I'll definitely link the stuff below if you guys are on the hunt for some things. But super recommend this desk and this chair that I got off of Amazon. And now I'm just like unpacking stuff into my desk and trying to make it organized, getting some stuff on Amazon. So like further and further, well, further and further, this will like finally come together, which I'm really excited about. I want to get like posters for the wall and everything, kind of like make it how Riley's is right now. Again, if you're watching on YouTube. What else? I've been just like trying to have fun on social media. I've been playing around with TikTok some more, making some videos. Some of them have done actually really well, which is super exciting and fun. Um, and what else have I been doing? Just relaxing. The weather's like so nice here in KC, and it's only getting warmer. Yes, it's a little bit humid from this area.
Mhm.
It's humid. Um, but that's been great. Been able to take Mila, Jose and I's dog, out for walks and go to our pool, which we haven't done yet, but we're super excited because the last couple of days have been like thunderstorm rain, and we're just like, okay, cool. Which totally like
Mhm.
totally defeats what I just said. But other than the past couple of days, it's been really nice. And I've been reading more. I just recently
Mhm.
finished this month. I've been reading some more finally. I feel like the summer months I just get more into wanting to read again. I don't know what it is. You'd think that it'd be like in the cozier weather that you'd want to read, but me, I'm like, I love to read in the summer. I'm so weird in that way. I think maybe because it reminds
Your summer reading project
right, no, it
from
literally
elementary
reminds me
school?
that it's like when you were,
Get the
like, in
reading
school.
pyramids?
Yeah, and in college, and you'd,
Remember
like
those?
yes, oh, totally, like, and you were required to read a certain amount of books, and I could never just read fiction, and I was pissed about it.
The
But I'm like,
nonfiction was so annoying, like,
"So annoying."
I remember I read the documentary of Walt Disney for nonfiction, and that's how I got through that. And because
Honestly, some of 'em I lied on, but on so many teachers.
Huh?
I
Oop.
didn't lie on them, but I did, like, skim them and be like, "Okay, yeah, this is what they were about. It's fine."
I know, but maybe
Yeah.
adult summer reading, that probably
Adults.
exists, but
We should start a book well,
some
we literally did start a book
we
club,
just
which again, we've been
where
I have been in my, like, romance era for my books, not so much my self-help girly era for my books, and so,
which is
honestly,
fine.
it's fine, it's just taking a little bit for us to read her, and so we'll get to her eventually, and right now I'm gonna give you 2 book recommendations, so you guys are good for now, okay?
Mhm.
Just
Headed.
kidding.
Yeah.
But, on that note, I read, um, Happy Place. Is it by Emily Henry? Let me make sure that's
Mhm.
correct. Happy Place. Yeah. And then hold on. Sorry, I should have done this before. Okay. So the first book I read on that note, the first book that I read was Happy Place
Mhm.
by Emily Henry. That book, it's been all over TikTok. It's been one of those like popular ones for the past couple of months or so since it came out. Incredible. It was so good. I really hope they make a movie or like a few part like episode, like a season of it or something because it was really good. It's very like summer vibes. It's so cute, so cute. And then
Mhm.
I also read Normal People by Sally Rooney,
Oh,
and
yeah.
that's also the Netflix. Oh, sorry, it's the Hulu series that's out, and it's so good. So I read the book first, so I listened to it on Audible because I'm an Audible girly. Um,
Uh-huh.
and it was so good. I know I keep saying that for both of them, but I don't want to talk about them too much to like defeat the purpose of, like, even reading them, but they're both really
Uh-huh.
cute, romance, kind of, like, coming of age. Not so much Happy Place is more, like, adult romance, and then the other one's, like, coming of age, follows these 2 kids for, like, high school and then into college and stuff like so and that one has a movie, or that one has the Hulu series, so definitely check
Mhm.
both of those out. I will have them linked in the show notes as well. But let's talk about it, okay? Summer I
Mhm.
Turned Pretty. It
Oh,
comes out on
yeah,
July
100%.
14th. They just dropped the thing this week. The like final
Yeah,
like teaser.
yeah, Kenzie and I were just talking about which team we're on. I'm sorry, guys. I'm on Team Jeremiah. Like,
I feel
I
like we've
just
had
think
this
he's so wholesome
conversation
and cute.
already.
I
Have we?
mean, not on the mic, I don't think,
No, the mic?
but
Okay.
I don't like the games his brother is playing.
Maybe I'm just
And I
toxic.
know you're definitely not that one in this pair, I don't think. I don't think I am either, but you're definitely not.
There's something about Conrad that I just like.
Yeah. You probably like Damon versus in TVD too, huh?
No, I was a Stefan girly. But then as the show
Oh.
went on, I got under the swoop of, like, liking Damon,
Mhm.
but I didn't dislike Stefan in the end. Like, I liked both of them equally, and honestly, like, the storyline made sense, but in the beginning, no, I've
Yeah.
always been a Stefan girly, always. And I was always an
I
Edward
think
girly too.
Oh, okay. Because I
I think
think
I'm just I
my
don't know.
mem my memo, I think, is I like the one that comes after the OG.
See,
I was team
okay.
Damon, I'm team Jeremiah, and then, what was the other one you just mentioned?
Are you Twilight?
I was team Edward for sure too,
I feel
which
like
he
that's a little
technically
bit
did,
different
which
because I think
he might be considered OG.
yeah.
Um,
Oh, well.
I don't
But
know.
we're talking about the other one specifically. I feel like Twilight's kind of out of the category.
Yeah, I wouldn't
Mhm.
say, but
Not really, it's
Damon was
literally the
like,
same as Vampire Diaries or Will Vampire.
well, like, when you, because I know you repeat watch Vampire Diaries. For me, I always skip to, like, season 3 when
That's
Damon
fair,
starts to be really in the picture.
actually.
And that's when I'm like, "Okay, now I can start going."
You're like, "Okay, I kind of like it now." But that went
Mhm,
into something else. But basically, yes, I'm so excited for that series to come out, and I didn't realize it was based on 3 books. I thought it was just 2, which I found out today. So, I'm contemplating reading them before it comes out, but I honestly think I won't. But we'll see.
mhm,
Oh, stay tuned. We'll
yeah,
see what I end up doing.
yeah.
But
And what
yeah,
are your
that's
thoughts on, no, we're still talking about this.
okay. Oh, we're
What are
still
your
okay, okay,
thoughts
okay.
I want your thoughts on, It Ends With Us with Blake
Oh,
Lively, and,
oh,
I want your
oh,
thoughts on that because that's been something that's been heavily discussed on Book Talk. The casting of it, the wardrobe,
yeah.
like, what are your thoughts on it? Because you've read the books. I'm
Yes.
reading the books.
Okay. So here's the thing about It Ends With Us is that I had like a picture of the character like everybody does when you read a book. You kind of visualize what you think that these characters would look like. I
Mhm,
do agree with a lot of book talk and saying like, "Oh, this is what I feel like Lily Bloom would have looked like and what I felt like Ryle would have looked like and Alice would have looked like." Like I get all of those and I agree with them. But one, I love Blake Lively, so I'm a little bit biased.
mhm,
But I think this book wasn't set in the time frame that we're in now. This is like an old book. It just resurfaced onto Book Talk. So uh, the book came out in 2016. So think about 2016 you. It was really popular Tumblr, overly saturated things, like super interesting
yeah,
patterns. Clothing was just like not what it
yeah,
is today. And so I think, yes, the wardrobe, it might stretch a little bit. And I don't really know the theme and the style that they're actually gonna come up with because for me, I am more like analyzing the character development rather than like the scenery. So I really don't remember other than like set in Boston in 2016 and like that kind of thing that it just like, I don't really know how to picture the scenery, let alone, like, the clothing, I just picture, like, the people. And so, obviously, she's redheaded, which they have Blake Lively dye her hair, and I think Justin Baldoni is an incredible, incredible director and just actor
mhm,
in general, and so when I found out he was the one who was, like, helping Colleen Hoover with this movie, I was like, "Oh, yeah, it's gonna be good." Like, no matter if it's, like,
killer.
completely a little bit different than the book, maybe the scenery is off. I don't know, whatever. Like that part of it, even if it's a little bit different, like the execution of the book is gonna be and so in my opinion, I still have hope for it. I really do.
Mhm,
And I honestly think it's still gonna end up super good as long as they portray the book the way that it's supposed to and get the message out of it that it's supposed to, which is like, you know, getting out of abusive household, getting out of an abusive relationship, like that kind of thing,
mhm,
that message. I think it's gonna be really well done. And so I hope in that sense that it's gonna be like it's gonna embody the book the way it's supposed to. I don't really care
mhm.
about the way that it looks as much. Does that make sense? I might
Yeah,
just be like, a pick me girl or whatever, but it's
not
I just
even.
I just think that I don't really care about what it's gonna I don't really care about what it's totally gonna end up looking like. I just want the message to
Mhm,
be executed and, like, the book to be
yeah.
delivered the way it was supposed to, you know?
And I feel like there's certain, like, sophisticated themes that you can, like, bring into the story because of their age difference, like, versus what is, like,
Yeah,
in the book currently.
right.
Like, maybe she processes, like, the events in her life way differently. I don't know. And so I'm totally open to it. For one, love Blake Lively in general, so I'm like, I'm not mad about the casting or at all, like, and
No.
I think, I don't know, I think it's just, like, people, especially our age, like, we wanna see people on the screen who are our
Right.
age, but
Yeah.
then I think of, like, things like The Best of Me,
Mhm.
um, like the Nicholas Sparks movie,
Yeah.
who they were set, like, in their 40s, and I still, like,
Mhm.
love that
Oh,
storyline.
totally.
Like,
Yeah.
there's totally love stories that are set, like, later on in life that you can
Mhm.
still truly identify with. Like, it doesn't have to be this young, juvenile, lost love, like, that is typically portrayed. Like, this is something that's a little different, which I can appreciate.
That's a good perspective to
So
have because I didn't think about it in that sense. I thought about it more like I got the people like some people were saying on like social media that Blake Lively's already a known actress and like why not put in a younger
um,
person for the role so then that way a new like profound action or sorry a new actress can like become in Hollywood like how the
mhm,
newer and
that
younger generation. I get that point, but also
mhm,
Colleen Hoover said she's like, "I've always wanted Blake Lively to play her. I've always
mm,
envisioned Lily as Blake Lively."
Blake Lively.
So I'm like, "That's so fair. If I wrote a book and someone was making a movie about it and I could pick whatever actress I wanted, I'd choose Blake Lively
Yeah.
too." Like, I'm sorry.
Mhm,
So, that's my opinion.
yeah. I get that, and I think sometimes also I think one thing that might have been added to the mix was just, like, sometimes it's really hard to reimagine a character if they've done other characters so well. Like, when I think
Right.
of Blake Lively, I think of Gossip Girl, I think
Totally.
of, like, Age of Adeline, I think of, that one movie she did with Kendrick or, Anna Kendrick,
Yeah. Mhm.
but mostly Gossip Girl, so it's
Right.
like, I think that
Sisterhood of the Traveling
disassociation of,
Pants.
like, Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, like, I think, like, if we're able to, like, rethink her in that way, or if maybe that could be really great, but, um, that could be a hard thing too, is when an actor or actress have done a character, like,
Yeah.
and they're just built their entire, like, fame and career off of that one character, and it can be difficult to reimagine them as somebody else that is so, like, impactful, such as, like, Lily.
Yeah.
Um so it could have been honestly, I could appreciate that opinion too, or it's like, maybe it'd been nice to see a new face because
Totally.
then they can be known for that character,
Mhm.
um, like, sets boundary or, like, creates a whole new thing,
Right.
but I don't know.
I
I
agree.
think
I
keep
think
an
I
open
would have been
mind.
happy either way, and that's why I'm still giving the book, like, hope, and I hope that it's still, like or the movie hope, and I don't I just hope it's still
Mhm,
sorry, I cut that part out, but, um, yeah, no, I still have a lot of hope for the book, and I think regardless, those both of those points are valid, and either
mhm,
way, I would have been happy if it was a younger role or if it was Blake Lively. Like, she's a good actress,
mhm,
and I have no doubt that she's not gonna do good. So,
mhm. There's, like,
yeah.
a lot of things happening right now in, like, pop culture. There's the writer strike happening right now, like, and, maybe we'll do a whole 'nother episode just focus on that.
Yeah.
I think it's really interesting to follow this, like, business news, the happenings behind the arts, like,
Mhm.
the creative industries. I've been deep in the Vanderpump. I've been deep in the Randall, um, drama that came from Vanderpump, all of it. So, maybe we'll have
Yeah.
to maybe do a little episode about that stuff, but
'Cause if
this
we
is can
go
be
on
considered
even further, then it's gonna be we're gonna be here for a while.
yeah. Yeah. So this can, like, very easily be considered both Kenzie and I's beige flags. Um, I don't know, well,
We'll never
did you
shut
notice
up.
that subtle transition? That subtle transition?
That's so transition. We don't know her.
Um, I know. So, for those of you guys who are made it this far, the beige flags thing has been just, like, absolutely hilarious to
Mhm.
follow on TikTok right now. So we're just gonna talk about it and share
Yeah.
some that we both know about each other and that people have told us, like our friends have told us about, and
Mhm.
then some we found online of other people's beige flags too. So enjoy.
Enjoy.
Kenzie, how do you want to do this? Do you want to share I'll share some from you that have been told to you by friends, and then we'll do
Yeah.
some for each other.
Let's start out
Okay.
with friends, like, that told us our beige flags, and then
Mhm.
what we think each other's beige flags are, what we think our own beige flags are, and then I know we had a couple write-ins from our listeners, and then also we wanted to share some from TikTok that we thought were really funny. And so let's just kind of go in that order of just like we'll
Mhm.
categorize and let you guys know which ones we're talking about. But let's start with like what our friends said about us.
Yeah, you go first. I yours were
Okay.
kinda funny.
They were funny. Okay, so because I'm funny and I wanna, like, share who they're from, I obviously asked Josue because I can't just not ask my boyfriend what my beige flags are. I mean, if I'm gonna start some tea, I might as well do it now, you know?
Exactly.
But, um, so what Josue said was he gave me a few, so apparently I have a few beige flags. Honestly, in his
He was really
defense,
quick to
he
respond
throws
too.
he was a little quick to respond, but I appreciate that because I wanted to record this episode today, and I asked him this morning. So I will say we like the fact that it was quick and fine. But I will say in his defense, these were all super sweet. Like his ADHD crazy girlfriend could have had like a long list. He really could have. I mean, in like my
Yeah.
eyes, he could have had a lot of, but he was very sweet, he was cute about it. So, the
Mhm.
first he says, "You really," in all capitals, "like cottage cheese." This is true. I do like cottage cheese. But I don't think that's a beige flag. It doesn't hurt anybody. But it is a beige
I
flag,
would
I think, and because he does not like cottage cheese. He thinks it's
I think
disgusting.
it well, there's the olive theory, you know, but it could
Ooh,
just be the cottage cheese theory,
maybe.
whatever.
For those of you who don't know what the
Yeah.
olive theory is, it's when in a relationship, one person has to like olives and the other person doesn't like olives. And if that's not the case, then it's not a successful relationship. But Sway doesn't like
Mm.
olives. I like olives.
That was from How I Met Your Mother,
Mhm.
like, the show, and
Yeah,
so there's a pop culture moment that we just, derive our entire dating life around, I guess.
literally. Also, side note, I want to do another really quick mini update while we're in the middle of this because you mentioned that show. I've been watching. I just binged all of Modern Family, guys.
Mhm,
If you haven't seen Modern Family, you need to go watch it right now. It is
mhm.
one of the funniest TV shows I've ever seen in my entire life. And we actually went to a couple baseball games, for the Royals in KC, and one of them had, like, a celebrity baseball night, and one of the actors who plays Cam, Eric Stone Street, was at the baseball game for the celebrities because he's a Kansas City native, and we got to see him. That was just off the topic, it just reminded me that I had been watching that, and that if you haven't, you
Huh.
need to. So, that was just
I haven't done it, so I'll have to watch it.
yeah, you
I'm
have
an
to.
Office fan too, so,
Oh, yeah, then you'll
um,
love it because it's in that same ballpark of, like, comedy. It's
Parks and
so
Rec,
yes.
Jury Duty. Yeah,
Brooklyn Nine-Nine, like, so good.
exactly.
All of 'em are so good.
Uh-huh.
Anyways, okay, I'll continue. So, he says and I think this one is also really I mean, they're all funny, but you enjoy shopping at Lululemon. And I think he says this because it's expensive, and I have very
Oh,
expensive taste, and I just love
uh-huh.
Lululemon, okay?
Yeah,
What am I
yeah.
supposed to say?
Yeah. Oftentimes what happens so I'll be, like, on the phone with Kenzie at my desk, and my cousin, she works across the way from me, and so she's listening in, and so sometimes, like, she'll bring up makeup products, I'm like, "Oh, I'll pass the phone to Morgan, my cousin, because she is they, like, just connect on a whole 'nother level when it comes to like, those brands and stuff, and they'll just be
Yeah.
spitting out names back and forth, and they sound French sometimes, they sound Italian sometimes, and I'm over
Like,
here
we're just speaking
and
foreign
so
languages to Riley.
like, literally, like, a whole 'nother language, and I love to learn more, of course, but, like, they just speak that language, so I can understand what Josue is why he might bring that up.
Yes. Yes, and I do too, I get it. This one I thought was kind of interesting. He says drinks flat, soda/drinks. And here's the thing, I don't
Oh,
typically like it, but I think I see where he's coming from this one because he knows I take a million years to drink a drink. Like, it takes me so long to
oh,
get through a drink. I've literally been sipping on my
that's so
coffee
true.
for the past hour and it's halfway gone. Um, so I get that, but I don't enjoy a flat drink. Like, it's not I don't enjoy that. But
Well, I get that because I don't like carbonated drinks, and so
I can see that for you, how like, I love carbonated drink, which we'll get
yeah.
into my 4th one that he said, drinks Coca-Cola with lemon packets.
Yeah, that's one I've never heard before.
Well, I was like,
Which is fine. Is it
it's,
what, True Lemon?
it's true. Yeah, True Lemon by True
Yeah.
Citrus or whatever it's called. But I also just love a good regular lemon wedge. It's just sometimes easier and more accessible to just have a lemon packet. It's just crystallized lemon.
Mhm.
It's good. So I do love carbonated drinks, and I am a Coca-Cola girly. I have been for a long time. My dad used to previously work at Coca-Cola. And so I'm sorry that it's just in my blood, literally.
Like, quite literally, like, there would be
Quite
times where we'd be out
literally.
and about, and Ken's is like, "I need a Coke," and I'm like, "Okay, the closest McDonald's is about 10 minutes away. We can go there right now."
It's honestly sometimes just easier. It's refreshing. You get the caffeine boost. It's a good sweet treat. I'm a beverage girl, tried and true. So
Mhm.
that's how I'm gonna consume my calories. Give me get off my
Yeah,
back, okay? Leave me alone. I
yeah.
like a Coke. If that's the worst thing I'm gonna drink in my whole life, then so be it. So be it.
Yeah, these are all pretty wholesome, quite frankly,
They are
I
pretty
feel like, in the
wholesome.
most part, which is essentially the undertone
Totally.
with, beige flags in general.
They're meant
So,
to be like have humor and be like just call out, but
just
it's like a funny trait that you already know about yourself that
it's just
your
things you
your peers,
notice.
yeah. It's not necessarily
Uh-huh.
bad. My last one from Josue is this one's actually a real this is a real beige flag. Like, I'm silly. Cole's movies, shows. I'm not gonna
You
admit that
know,
it's not right because it is right. I will literally we'll be watching a movie, like, "Oh, what show is that?" We'll be watching a TV show, "Oh, what show is that?" He's like or I'll be like, "Oh, you should watch this new show with me." He's like, "A movie or a show?" "Please."
I
I'm
can
like, "Oh, it's a
appreciate
movie."
you. I
I
can appreciate you trying to simplify the conversation with less words, but it's okay to use the word
I just
movie,
forget
girl.
and I just say it. I just say show. I don't know why. But it's something
Mhm.
that he recently pointed out, and I'm like, I really do actually do that a lot.
Uh-huh.
So those were all the ones from Josue, and I thought those were very funny and wholesome. And yeah. So should I
Yeah, I don't
continue
think
mine with my friends or do you want to go
oh,
in?
don't worry, I'm one of your friends, and I'll continue those for you.
Okay, sounds
And
good.
I'm sure you'll do the same for me too.
Yeah.
So, I got less of them just because people just didn't get back because we just didn't ask this morning. Um, but, one of them was my loud chewing. I I'm sorry. I really am. I know that's a pet peeve for, like, most people. I just genuinely just enjoyed the initial crunch. I eat a lot of crunchy foods. I'm a savory girl, and so I actively have to, like, quiet and slow down my chewing so that it's not so. Because 'cause I'll just go chomp, 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 chomp. Because I love the satisfaction of the crunch, whatever, but it's obviously bothered my friends to a point where it's been acknowledged as one of my beige flags. So,
It's never
that
bothered
was
me, by the way, so
thank you.
you're
See,
welcome. I just know it's
you
true.
win
I
some, you
just
lose
doesn't
some.
bother me.
You win some, you lose some,
You
guys,
do,
like,
you do.
sorry.
Yeah.
Another one of mine, that was told to me was, I have a heavy foot, so I have a little bit of a heavy foot when I drive, um,
I thought
which is
they
like,
meant, like, when you walk,
"Oh,
that you
do I
just
walk
don't
funny now? Are you
No,
trying
but
to
I
tell me
thought
I
that's what
walk
they
funny
meant, and
now?"
I was like, "Shut up." Like, walk heavy? Now I know what they mean by a heavy foot, like, when you drive.
Like,
That is
brakes.
correct.
Yeah. Yeah, and I wasn't always like that. I think it was, like, when I got my license, like, I didn't really drive on freeways
Mhm.
until, I was, like, 19 or 18 or 19. Yeah, probably, like, 19 because I just didn't
We
need
didn't
to drive on freeways in high
Yeah.
school, like, we didn't have those really. And then when I got to college, I didn't have a car my freshman year, and so I'm just, like, strictly California out here, just, like, it's stop and start go, stop and go, stop and go.
Yeah.
Um so I know it's not great and I should be better 'cause it's good for the car. I'll work on it. It's just a little
It's
thing.
okay. These are just calling out,
Mhm.
doesn't mean I don't work on it. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Another thing is my energy ticks. I call them energy ticks. So it's like little outbursts of random sounds. Um, and a lot of people have them. Like it's just like, like just complete silence in a room, and I'll just like just do that. Um, to me, it's just like, oh, I just have some pent up energy. I just need to get it out, and that's my way
Right.
of doing it. And I call them energy ticks. So those are the three that were mentioned to me.
That's so
But I know there's so much more.
I have
There's
one.
plenty. Okay. For me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I'm just
What is
I
it?
do have some for you. Well,
I
okay.
have some for you too.
Right. So, one thing that Riley does, this cracks me up. So, for those of you who don't know, which I'm pretty sure most of you do if you've been listening to the podcast for a while, Riley has had previously suffered from a traumatic brain injury. And this is not funny. This is not the beige flag, okay?
I don't know why I'm laughing. I'm not supposed to be laughing. That's not funny. It's not funny.
It's not funny. That part isn't funny. But the thing that happened to Riley is that she did unfortunately lose her like ability to smell very well. And so something that she's done since then, uh, she when someone who might not know the situation or like will forget, like I know I forgot at the beginning when it first happened. And like say someone we're in a store and she's like, "Oh, smell this candle." She'll pretend to smell something, knowing damn well that she can't smell it.
Yeah. I'll make some comment of
It's
like,
like, "Oh, it
just
smells so
like,
good."
it's kind of toxic in a way because it's just like, well, it got to the reason why is like it got to a point where you have like if you just like stop and think about how frequently people ask you to smell things, it's actually kind of crazy.
It
Like
is.
it's quite frequent. And so it got to the point where I was just like, I was tired of saying like I can't smell because then people dive into the story of like why,
Mhm.
and then that's like not a really fun story. Like it's kind of sad, and it just kills the mood.
Yeah.
So I just bake it. I just bake it.
And I do this with full-hearted love because I've been, like, through this with Riley, like, the whole step of the way, and so it's just funny because I even remember, like, when I would forget still sometimes and have her spell things, I'd be like, "Here, smell this," and then she would do it to me too, and I'm like, "Girl, slap me in the face next time."
Then why'd you ask? Then why'd you
Why'd you
ask?
ask me?
That's a
And
good
so,
one.
that was just a funny one that I thought of that she just pretends to smell. Um,
I got one for you. We're gonna go back and
okay,
forth right now.
sounds good
So
because I
for
need to think of another
Kenzie,
one.
yeah,
Oh, shoot, I'm
Kenzie and one
scared.
of hers it's when we're like out ordering something like a drink or food, she'll order first and she'll say what she wants, but then somebody will order after her and she'll be like, "Oh wait, I want that instead." And she'll switch her order. And that's like nothing wrong with that. It's just it's a pattern. It's
So
a
I've learned
pattern.
to go last, is my theory now.
Yes.
I've learned to go last. Yeah, like, turn around, go to the end. Like,
Yeah. It's a
don't.
tiny adjustments. It's a
It
tiny
is.
adjustments.
Yeah. What other beige flags do you have? I
I
feel
think
like
another one is that you go back and forth from growing your hair out and cutting it into a bob
I
again.
how dare you? This is so true,
But
though.
the
Every time I grow my hair out, I chop it. Like, I
uh-huh.
never consistently have long hair or short hair.
Yep.
Right now, I'm literally growing it out again, and it's gotten a little bit longer. I actually now
Mhm.
I'm, like, in recovery from, like, going platinum so many years ago, and honestly, I actually, like, holding myself accountable on the podcast will be growing my hair out and keeping it long for a while because I need it to be healthy, because it's been
I give
so
it 3
dead for
months.
so long.
I give
Give
it
it 3
3
months.
months.
At what point? What point does it have to get for me to chop it?
I just give you 3 months at this
Okay.
point.
Okay.
End of
I'll
summer when
prove you
fall
wrong.
comes and you're
Oh,
ready for that fresh cut for the sweater weather and the long hair, it's getting into your sweaters and it's getting into your bulky clothing,
says
whatever.
the girl
You're
who
gonna wanna cut it.
your beige flag is that you've never cut your hair.
How is that a beige flag?
I don't know. I'm
Tell
just
me.
mad. Oh, I feel attacked. I feel targeted.
I'm extremely low, like, I don't like dealing with my hair, I just let it grow out and it's a little dead on the ends, whatever, so I'll accept that one.
What is Riley's beige flag? I feel like
Yeah, you better think quick because 'cause I'll keep coming. I'll keep coming at
that's
you.
so rude. That's so
Once
uh,
you do your makeup, you can't do any physical activity after that.
This is
which is
true.
fine, and that's considered normal, but there's this one time we went to Hawaii, and we were about to go swimming or no, no, no. Yeah, we were about to go swimming,
This
and
was a
it's
different
like
time of my
the
life,
beach.
okay? I was insecure and I
Whatever,
was a
don't.
teenager.
No no disclaimers.
Looked
And
like we went to
Kenzie
Hawaii,
did
like, last month.
yeah, and Kenzie always looks good, and the reason why, she spends time, girl, like, she does her research on her makeup, that is her thing, and she's extremely smart with that stuff. She did her makeup, and all of us went swimming, and she didn't go swimming with us because her makeup was done, and so that may not be a beige flag to a lot of people because people are like, "Duh," but for,
Yeah.
like, maybe, like, the outsiders or it was just
Well,
something I noticed.
Riley's beige flag is that she doesn't do her makeup. No, I'm just kidding. But her and I are so
Valid.
different in that area though, that like, it makes sense that that's how she sees like a beige flag for me. Like, I would say like, this isn't a beige flag, but like Riley just doesn't give a fuck. Like, she just doesn't care. She'll, I wish I had the like,
Oh, okay.
it's turning into
I can
red
see we're
flag.
getting a little heated here.
It's
We're getting
turning
a
into
little
red
heat.
flag. No.
Are we getting into red flag territory right now? Look, let's cool down. Cool
Cool
down.
down. Cool down. I don't know.
I think that's I
Just
think
kidding. I'm kidding
there's
on
no,
though.
you're not. No, you don't be kidding on that one.
What what am I
It's
being honest
completely
about?
true.
It's not a beige flag though. You like
I think it can be because it goes either
I
way.
overthink stuff like that. You don't care, but not in a bad way. You just like,
Internally, I do.
well, you don't
Sometimes I
show
think I
it.
just go, I
You really
know,
don't.
but
You're so hot.
like we get to a heart to talk. We turn this conversation to a heart to heart about my internal decision making. Oh my gosh. Um, I think it's valid. I think it's a valid. I think there's like tons of things you should care more about, and then like
Yes,
I think that balance is necessary. So hey, I'm gonna take
absolutely.
that one. I'll take that beige
I
flag.
was I wasn't being for real though. That wasn't even on my list.
Mm, I like these
Thing.
spontaneous ones. Tell me how you really feel.
Tell me how
Tell me
you
how you
really
really
feel.
feel.
I am trying to think though. I feel like this isn't even a beige flag, but it could be to some people. Like, Riley is like, no matter where she's at, like anywhere, she will not pass up an opportunity to do like cool. Like, if it's experience, if it's for the plot, she's doing it. Like, she'll go buttons naked in the ocean, or she'll be fully clothed and jump into the pool. Like, that's the shit that Riley does.
Full
Around
out of
me.
pocket.
We're just teasing each other at this point for all the funny things that we do.
I can go all day with this, Kenzie. Like I literally can.
God,
You
you
just
act
like
like
have
I have
so
a
many
million
like
beige flags. I have
well,
so
beige
many
flags
times.
like little tendencies. They're neutral tendencies. Like they're not negative or positive. They're kind of in that
No.
neutral ground. They should be.
Mhm.
Um, but I'm trying to think back because me and Kenzie we're
I
apart right now, and
know.
so we haven't been like
In
together
each other's
together in a
new
really long
tendencies.
time.
Yeah.
Yes. Maybe another beige flag is you have to try on at least 3 outfits before you go out. I'm just saying, you
You're
like to
right.
test out the waters
I do. Well, you
and
never
test
know.
your things.
I'm very like, oh, you know, a beige flag of mine too. I'm a chronic overpacker.
Oh, oh, there we go. There
There we
is
go.
one right there. That that is
I
that
have
is a
gotten
valid
better, but
point.
I think out every scenario. So that's how it is with my clothes too. I have to think out every scenario. Like, what's gonna happen? Like, I'm plan my outfit. Is it potentially gonna rain today? Possibly. Okay, layers. Great. Okay. No, we're not
Uh-huh.
wearing white. We can't wear white when it's rain. You know, that also could just be
I've
my insane brain
that,
that just overthinks
that's an
everything.
incredible thought process right there because I am the type of packer I am is the morning of I will throw what clothes are clean into my bag, a couple pairs of pants, couple pairs of shirts, blah blah blah. No clue if they match. I just like throw them in and
Mhm.
then I see what I can do from there. And I think it's kind of exciting to get to
That's
have to
not
figure
the
it
same.
out.
No,
Yeah,
not
I know that's not relatable. It drives
very.
Morgan absolutely nuts. Absolutely nuts.
Morgan and I are a lot
Um,
more alike than Riley and I are alike. Than
in
Morgan and
that way,
Riley.
100%. Yeah, in that way for sure. Like
Mhm.
we always
Mhm.
joke around about me being like the boyfriend character of the house just because I kill the spiders. I grill the meat.
I grill the meat.
I'm
No.
on the porch with the beer. drink grilling on the
You
briquette
literally grilled this
barbecue
weekend
grill. I
for all the
know.
girls.
And yeah, we're like joking just so your crusty future boyfriends don't get any
Exactly.
ideas
She's
because they
just
have
setting the
plenty.
standard for all the boys in our lives, you know?
Yeah. It's like it's all around for the benefit of the group.
Yeah.
Um,
Do you
so
have any
maybe
more
that's my
beige
beige.
flags for yourself?
There's like a lot, I would say 100%. I say 100% a lot.
She
There's
does.
one I do, just so you can gauge how strongly I feel about things, I guess.
100%.
100%. Um, Another beige flag could be like I wear the same like 3 things every out like all the time. Like pretty
And your
much
staples.
pants, my staples. Like I haven't really shopped much since like freshman year of college, and we all know that that time period is not a great. It does not translate into your mid 20s, like that clothing. And so, really been trying to build that up a bit. Um, I'm a reality TV person. Like I kill for reality TV. Will always be for reality TV. Um, it's so entertaining to me, even though it's not true. This could really go on and on. What was really interesting was reading about these online
Yeah.
too,
Do you want me
to
to
what other
should I say the
people's.
rest of mine real quick?
What else what other beige flags did came up for you?
So for mine, for what I wrote for myself, I will rewatch my favorite TV shows a million times.
Oh yeah,
Like,
oh
favorite
yeah.
TV shows, favorite movies, all the above. I watched The Vampire Diaries, like, over 15 times now, and I mean completely through. Probably close to 30,
Hmm.
maybe more. Like, a lot. A lot.
Like a lot.
Harry Potter, I lost track.
Mhm,
I've seen that
mhm.
series so many
Like
times.
back in high school, you had that drawer of movies that were like you always would play. I think you even had like you had all the Harry
I
Potters.
had
You
all the
had I
Harry
think
Potters.
even the Vampire Diaries on DVD, right? Or was I wrong?
No,
Maybe not.
you're thinking of, like, I had the whole Full House series. That's the only TV show series I have.
Oh,
But no,
yeah, you
Vampire
had like I
Diaries was
think
just on Netflix for all these years, and so I've just
yeah.
watched it on Netflix. But
Mhm.
yeah, I had all those, and I had, like, a bunch of chick flicks and, like, sad romance movies and things like.
Mhm. 100%. Shoot, I'm gonna notice
Shoot,
that a lot more
there we
now.
are. What's another one? This kinda goes with the one Riley said, but I have to ask all the, like, others' opinions all the time. Like, I'm always like, "Well, what do you
Mhm.
think? What do you think? Well, what do you think?" I think it's
Mhm.
a people pleaser in me, but I also it's
Yeah.
not that, it's just sometimes it's a little
It just is
excessive.
a thing.
It's just a thing.
It's
Um,
like she does a lot of market research, in her personal life before making decisions, I would
I
say.
do.
It's a great way
I
to
do.
describe it.
I was just gonna say, I feel like a lot of mine come from having ADHD. And, like, I will hyperfixate on things, and then, like,
Uh-huh.
weird tendencies will appear. Like,
Yeah.
it's just funny. So, I just laugh at myself.
It's like these honestly, a lot of these things though are like I love them because it really does it's just like when these things happen, like if somebody honestly if somebody says like, "Oh, what do you think?" I sometimes have a little thought of Kenzie. Like it just like reminds us of each other. But I want to share a few that people wrote in to us
Mhm.
too, which are freaking hilarious.
They're
You guys
really
kill
funny.
me. One of my favorites, and we'll keep all of them anonymous, it was,
Yes.
"When brushing my teeth, it doesn't feel complete until I gag myself scrubbing my tongue," with the tongue emoji. Like, everybody
Literally,
was, like,
it's so
trying
funny.
not to trying not to gag, to
Right.
just prove something, whatever, but that's freaking hilarious. It's
So
so
funny.
true. Yeah, I hate that feeling in your mouth where it's like you just know something's there, so it's
Yeah,
just
you're
like,
like,
yeah,
"Just gag it out."
take get it out,
Mhm, for sure.
period. Another one is I eat pickled garlic by the jar.
That's not weird.
I
I
am not mad.
know,
I'm not.
but we're like agreeing.
Natural
We're
and
like, "Yeah,
that's a green flag
it's a
for
green
me.
flag." That's not even beige, girl. That's not even beige.
Uh-huh. Yeah, 100%. Speaking of green flags, it was funny, we were on a call with my friends, and one of my, friends is talking to a dude, and we were like we had one of my other this can get a complex story. We essentially one of our friends left a, Nintendo Switch at our house, and we wanted to play it because they had Mario Kart. but we only have one controller. And so we
Mm,
were asking my friend's like dude that she's talking to, like, "Hey, do you got a Nintendo Switch?" And he's like, "No, I don't have any games." And all three of us, like over the call at the same time, we're like, green flag, like nodding our
right.
heads. We're like, for sure, green
Sure.
flag.
I mean, I feel like it depends. I will say Josue is not like a big gamer, but we play video games together. Like we have our friend Switch that we keep over here because we play it pretty much when we're here. And then we have our Xbox that we have our Minecraft
Uh-huh.
game on that we've been playing a ton. So
Yeah,
yeah, I mean, I would agree with that. Like green flag for sure if they're not like crazy into video.
green flag. Oh my god.
But then again,
Um,
it's like as long as you're not taking away time from me, I'm fine with it.
that's like fine. And like everyone has their things. Like reality TV, what I feel like is considered like maybe like a more female dominated
That's I guess true. Yeah.
beige red flag category of like equivalent to video games maybe.
Doesn't hurt anybody.
But don't get me wrong, we see them boyfriends on TikTok who really enjoy Love Island. So
Yeah.
come
We had
on.
one more write in
Mhm.
and it said if I don't pull the money out in cash for groceries for the month, I'll spend it.
I think that's a green flag, low key. Like
That's
that's
good.
a very
It's holding
positive
yourself accountable.
practice.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
I
Like
mean,
that's a very
obviously, if you
positive
don't do
practice.
that, then like red flag, but like that's why it's considered beige because it's that happy medium, you know?
Mhm. I will say one thing that might be either a beige flag or a red flag is like beige flag, maybe a green flag. Okay, this could go anywhere. So those
Mhm.
the people who like add up receipts at the end, like that really double check it at the end of meals, to make sure it's like perfect down to the penny.
Mhm.
And do like a pull out a like I think that's a beige flag for me. Um, those who do that because it's good to check it, but it's also like
I think if it's on a
questioning.
receipt, that's silly. Like, just look at your entree and then look at like the tax. And if you want to add a little bit extra if another person's paying for it, then do that. Cool. If it's me, like if
Mhm.
it's a receipt and it has the prices for everything, I find my items, add those together, and then put an extra like $3 to $5 for like tip and tax. I
Yeah,
feel like
exactly. It's like that's like
that's
what I think
normal.
too.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
like
like
yeah.
during the meal, I'll keep track of that stuff, like what I ordered
Mhm,
and what I take, which because the group thing is can be pretty tricky
literally. But
for
I
sure.
always like
Um,
round if I'm like asking my friends to like send me money for food, I always round down. Like if it's a tip or whatever, like or if it's
mhm.
like a down to the penny or something, like I just round it down or like I never round up. I just it's like if it's
Yeah.
21.37, I don't know.
Uh
Like
huh.
I'll be
Yeah.
like, okay, $21. Like don't I do agree with that to an extent. Like if people are like
Yeah.
down to the T, you're like,
Yeah, and I respect it because like things you can get cheated pretty quickly when it comes to
oh, for
group stuff
sure.
and people don't like account for it. Like,
Yeah.
so I totally get that. I think that's why I say it's a beige. Like it's a beige
Yeah.
one. Um, 100%. Um, Here we actually found a few on TikTok that we thought were really funny, and I think we'll
Yeah.
just like close this episode out sharing those. Um, so here's one. It says, "My boyfriend's beige flag is if I send 5 messages, he will reply to the last one and ignore the other four. Quote quote, I'm dying, help. Quote quote, I love you. Quote quote, what did you have for dinner? Him, steak and vegetables."
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Why
I
is that
agree with
so
that.
relatable though? I feel like Josue does that sometimes, especially if like I double text him and he's like working or something. He'll like sometimes forget to reply to like both questions that I ask. I'm like, okay, hello. Or like
Mhm. Yeah.
if it's like this or this, he'll be like, yes. And I'm like,
I think
really?
it's just that's what I'm like, I'm gonna grab your phone right now, I'm gonna update it, and you're going to use the click and hold reply to the very specific messages.
Exactly.
Like, that's what that feature is for,
Exactly.
on the iPhone. But I'm also the type of person, if the text is, like, goes below the screen, like, a visibility, I may not read the second half, I will say. So I'll do a
Are
little
you a
quick skim
skimmer?
sometimes.
You're a
I am a
skimmer.
skimmer. I'm a skimmer, I will say. So it's like I want bullet points. Are you?
I'm a
Um,
blah.
be nice to
I
have some
like when
bullet
people
points.
I don't like long tags, so I mean, I don't mind them. I do like a thoughtful, like, long message, but, like, I prefer breaking it up into, like, little text, so then that way it's like, okay, they know I'm talking about things in, like, in order, but
Mhm.
it's not overwhelming like a big, long text message. Like, I'll just break it
Yeah,
up
like
into a couple.
you'll give a table of contents before
Mhm.
you send your
And
messages,
a
which
summary at the end.
in MLA format.
Then I'm all I mean, she's
Yeah,
not wrong. She's not wrong.
do you have any from you that you found?
Um Oh, wasn't there one? I thought I saw one,
The sweet one? My
yes,
girlfriend's beige flag
yes,
is that she
that one.
physically cannot survive without having something sweet after a meal.
Mm.
She doesn't even do it on purpose. Her body just starts searching high and low for chocolate immediately after dinner. She tries to play it off when she's looking because she's embarrassed by it, but it's so cute. She's like a little fruit fly.
A little fruit fly, that part was so cute.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that one was the one when we were looking, that one's so funny. I was like, "That's so true,
Morgan.
though." Like, it's not even chocolate, but it's like for me, it's like my dinner's not the last thing I'll eat for the day. Like, I always
Mhm.
have, like, a evening whether it's dessert
Mhm.
or not, like, sometimes it'll be chips or sometimes, like, something salty or it'll be something, like, sweet,
Mhm.
but I always end up, like, having something after dinner. Always.
Yeah, for Morgan, she always wants something sweet. So we either have pastries, cookies, we have chocolate bars like Kit Kat bars, Hershey bars,
Yeah.
just in case. And then for me, it's salty. So we have like the popcorn pack from Costco. And like veggie chips. And that's my like after dinner.
Mhm.
So,
You're snacky. Well, especially when you're, like, watching
hmm
a show after dinner or if you're, like, just relaxing after dinner, like, you snack. You just do.
hmm
It's
You just
just
gotta do something to satisfy. Yeah. And I try to keep it before 8 p.m. for the digestive tract, but never
right.
really do.
We try,
Never works.
but
Mm-mm.
it's okay. It's okay. Just
Whatever.
whatever.
Whatever. Thank you guys so much for listening and tune in every week. We might be switching up a recording day, so really just look out for that notification. Turn on the notifications so you can follow us. And you get to hear a ton more. We'll be having more guests as always, and sharing our own personal thoughts and all things life has to give us.
And if you wanna stay connected with us on other platforms as well, we obviously have our Instagram at Baddies Mean Business, or LinkedIn at Baddies Mean Business, and if you have any comments or questions or, um, even topic ideas, feel free to always message us. Our DMs are always open. So, yeah, but like Riley said, we hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and we'll talk to you next week. Bye, guys.
Bye, buddies.